Hi, I'm Mr. Janias, and today you'll witness one of the mysterious and enigmatic events in history. Chinese food. To some, it's a fascinating world of flavor, and to others, it's downright strange. You walk into a street market, and what do you see? Insects, snakes, frogs, and even dog meat. You might think, why in the world would anyone eat this? Is it just a part of their culture, or is there something deeper behind it? Let's rewind and take a deeper look. There's a history behind every bite, and to understand why the Chinese eat such a wide variety of foods, we need to look back at one of the darkest chapters in their history, the Great Famine. It wasn't just about hunger, it was about survival. The food culture that exists today has roots in a battle for life itself. But before we get into the devastation, let's explore how this all started. How did it go from tradition to necessity, and why does it still persist? Chinese cuisine has been evolving for thousands of years. Every region has its own unique take, shaped by its geography and climate. In some places, the land is fertile and food is abundant, but in others, it's a constant struggle. The people of China learned long ago that wasting food was a luxury they could never afford. They had to be resourceful, using every part of what they could find. No food was too strange, no flavor too outlandish. And it wasn't just about eating, it was about surviving. You see, traditional Chinese medicine plays a huge part in their food culture. Many animals are believed to have healing properties like snakes and tiger bones, which were thought to improve energy, or even dog meat, considered a tonic for the body. But it wasn't until 1958, when something unimaginable happened, that this resourcefulness and adaptability became a necessity for survival. That's when the Great Leap Forward hit, and everything changed. In 1958, Chairman Mao Zedong set out to transform China. He called it the Great Leap Forward, a bold plan to rapidly modernize the country. The idea was to catch up with the Western world by drastically increasing agricultural and industrial production. But what followed was a catastrophe no one could have predicted. The farmers, unable to meet Mao's unrealistic expectations, lost control of their crops, and the government's misguided policies only made things worse. Mao's focus on mass production, combined with the extermination of sparrows blamed for eating grain, created an ecological nightmare. The pests that once kept things in check flourished, and crops failed. The result was a nationwide famine. It wasn't just a bad harvest. It was an epidemic of starvation that spread across China. The country was plunged into darkness, and millions of people would pay the price. From 1959 to 1961, over 30 million people died from starvation. Imagine that for a moment, 30 million. In a nation of hundreds of millions, it was a devastating blow. With no food in sight, people ate whatever they could find: grass, tree bark, and yes, even dirt. Desperation turned survival into a game of chance. The streets were filled with the sound of starving cries, and hunger was the one thing that united everyone. But it didn't stop there. Rats, insects, and even stray dogs became essential food sources. People hunted for anything that could sustain them. Some even went as far as cannibalism, in the most extreme cases. The hunger was not just physical, it was psychological, taking its toll on the very spirit of the nation. How did a culture known for its rich, diverse food traditions descend into this? The answer lies in one thing: survival. The famine ended in the early 60s, but the scars it left were deep. The mindset of survival lingered long after the food ran out. It became ingrained in the culture. Today, when you see a market stall selling exotic meats or rare animals, it's not just about tradition, it's a reminder of a past struggle. It's like every bite carries the weight of history. What was once essential for survival became a cultural identity. And even now, many of those who lived through those years still carry the lessons they learned. But with modernization, things started to change. as China became more industrialized and opened up to the West. Younger generations began to shift toward Western-style eating habits. Fast food chains began spreading across the country, and traditional dishes started losing their place at the table. But don't be fooled though. The food culture is evolving. The legacy of survival is still there. For many, eating isn't just about filling a stomach. It's about remembering where they've come from and how far they've come since then. Do the Chinese really eat everything? Is it just a cultural habit, or is there a deeper historical connection? Today, China's exotic food culture continues to exist as a reminder of past struggles, hunger, and how survival was once a fight. The eating habits in China have become much more than a tradition. They represent the resilience and survival instinct of a nation. However, as China modernized, younger generations began shifting towards Western food. Fast food chains rapidly grew in cities and shopping malls, and traditional dishes started losing their appeal to younger crowds. Even though fast food is becoming more popular, traditional Chinese food still holds deep meaning for many. These meals aren't just about filling an empty stomach. They are symbols of overcoming struggles, enduring hardship, and surviving. For many, traditional food still carries strong cultural significance. These dishes tell stories beyond nutrition. They represent the hardships people have faced and how they've survived. Over time, traditional meals became not just about survival, but also about preserving a nation's history and culture. In China today, food is a journey through the depths of a people's past and culture. Traditional food, once a necessity, has transformed into a symbol of strength and resilience. Each dish tells the story of overcoming tough times and rebuilding. So, while fast food may be on the rise, traditional meals still play a crucial role in keeping a nation's history alive. I'm really curious to know what you think about this video. I've shared some insights into China's food culture, but maybe there's something you've heard that I didn't mention. What are your thoughts on the history, culture, and survival aspect behind what they eat? What's your favorite Chinese dish? Let's chat in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.